Welcome back to another video, guys. This one should be pretty sweet. As you're seeing from the description, I am going to be putting an almost 500cc Predator motor into a mini bike. So first thing I did, as you're seeing, is I had to cut out the frame a bunch and make a couple bracings just to fit the carburetor and everything, and give it a little more clearance to fit the motor. I also had to take every single part off of this motor, like the fuel tank, the air box, the factory exhaust, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna end up using this flange because I don't want to go buy a new one or make a new one, and obviously it works, so I'll just end up welding an exhaust to that flange. Also, I need to find a filter, so I just put those bolts as spacers, just like temporary stuff. But yeah. Also, when I was looking at the mini bike, this rear caliper was broken, so I got a replacement and replaced that for the rear. There's that new one on there. You can see the welds aren't the prettiest at all. I was using like this $100 MIG welder, just whatever I had. I also had to make some clearance for that carburetor, so I just kept cutting it. But I ended up having to cut a lot more and brace it some more. But it turned out pretty alright, I think. A lot of stuff had to go into making this silly thing fit. Anyway, going on the other side, I also cut some of the heat shielding on the bottom to make clearance for that one pipe that was going upwards. So that all fits nicely. Then went ahead and used some of my 3-inch exhaust stainless steel pipe, cut one of those things off of a fuel tank, welded that on there with some plates on the end. Called it a fuel tank. I think it looks pretty alright. Alright, here's a short little update. I cut the legs off because, as you know, it's going to be wider, so I need a place for my feet that's not going to get caught up with spinning stuff. But you can see I welded on another piece of tube. It's a little bit smaller, but it should be fine. If I do have problems with it, I'll just add a little brace on the bottom or something. But you're not really pushing down really hard. I mean, I'm not when I'm riding. I don't know about other people, but yeah, I don't know why this is out. It's coming together. I haven't decided if I'm gonna leave this or not. I'll probably leave it for now just because I don't feel like cutting it, to be honest. I'm gonna do something special with the plastics, hopefully. Maybe I'll wrap them like one of the car's colors. I don't really know what I like about or how I'm feeling about this tint seat. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I'll probably end up getting a black one. I just like the look better. There's those. It's a huge mess, but here's the motor. I don't know if I said before, but it does have a starter on it. I'm super excited about that. So you got a little ignition right here. And then I went to Menards. Where is it? And bought a battery. See that? It's just for a crotch rocket, but I'm gonna mount this guy probably up here, something like that. But yeah, everything fits. I gotta drill some holes on that plate to like mount the motor up. But yeah, other than that, I'm waiting for the torque converter. It's like a little CVT for the mini bike to come in the mail. And make something special because the output shaft is out here, and I gotta get it into here pretty much. Gotta figure something out with that. Might have to get like a fatter sprocket. I also do want to get front brakes just because of the nature of this whole thing. I don't want to not be able to stop. But yeah, here's the motor that came off of it. That's what I'm putting in. Just a little upgrade, you know. I think I'm gonna get like a 59 or 49cc sticker. Throw that on here. I just think it'll be funny. But yeah. All right, the torque converter just got delivered. This thing's absolutely massive. You can see I got it bolted on the motor. I just screwed it forward. It's probably around a ½ an inch this way, so now the motor's sitting a little farther. I gotta make some mounting holes for it. But you can see how wide this thing is. It's kind of sickening, I guess. But here's the dilemma I'm into right now. So this is the drive gear from the actual motor, right? And then the sprocket is all the way back in there. And this kit did come with a smaller sprocket to use a smaller chain to match this one. But I'm thinking of drilling a hole through here and putting a shaft, a bearing on this actual plate. And there'll be a small chain from here to here, connected to the shaft, goes through to the back side and connects to right there. The only thing that's going to be tricky about that is gear ratios, but as long as I keep it the same, I'm sure the only one that's going to matter is these two right here. But yeah, so I need to make that one be removable so I can change and figure out what I need to do. But yeah, definitely gonna be a lot of work. There's clearance for the exhaust. I was kind of worried, but this kit seems like it's perfect for this, so yeah. So I gotta finish up the secondary gas tank. This first one I think came out pretty good. The second one's gonna go like right here. I need to figure out a way to connect those and then connect it to the carburetor right here. Also, I'm having some problems with the actual throttle cable. It's trying to like make something, but it keeps getting kind of sticky, so it works really well just like this, but if there's any force pulling up or pulling down, then it starts getting sticky and it's really weird. So gotta figure that out. Mount the motor. Obviously now I had to cut out more of the frame, which sucks, to fit the actual CVT or torque converter, whichever you guys want to call it. So I'm gonna have to brace that so it doesn't collapse. But yeah. So I made this second fuel tank, but didn't ever end up putting it on. I just didn't feel the need. I was riding around. The small fuel tank is like 30 minutes, which I think is plenty, and why add that much extra weight? But here it is. Right when I was getting ready to weld those foot pegs on, I went with a little different idea, I guess. Where the normal foot pegs sit is too far forward or too far backwards, so I had to make a whole new thing, as you're seeing here. Essentially it just scoots the foot pegs forward. You kind of ride it like a Harley. But yeah, I painted the whole thing, put it all together. You can see I made a little battery box and stuff in the back, and yeah, you can see some mounting holes that I made, or drilled out, not made. I also just painted like some of those little plastic pieces the same matte black as the frame. Here is the motor pretty much complete. You can see I put a little fuel filter on. I still haven't got an actual filter for the carburetor. I need to do that, but there's the exhaust. It's from one of the crotch rockets I had, just like a spare exhaust. I think it came out pretty decent. There's the battery and the battery box. There's also like a little filter on the crankcase stuff. The fuel tank mounting is just a hose clamp, but it holds it nicely. I also put the plastic piece over the torque converter. I like it open, but I just had the piece laying around, so I just threw it on there. Yeah, here's some clips of me riding it. Let me know what you guys want to see in a future video, and thanks for watching.